When you get up and go about your day, do you know why you're doing that? Why you get up? What drives you to be able to do what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? Is it because this is something that you're used to doing now? Sort of a habitual practice? Do you find yourself feeling alone, empty, when the day is at its end? Is there something that you've been going through in the past that may be eating you up from the inside, but you choose to shove that feeling down deep to protect your own sanity? Depression, loneliness, lack of purpose, trauma. These are things that Marvel's The Thunderbolts aim to address in this film. White Widow finds herself dealing with these internal issues. She is unable to find meaning in her life. She's a mercenary stuck in a routine cycle of unfulfillment and emptiness. This begins to change when she comes into contact with people who are arguably equally troubled by their inner conflicts that they're dealing with. At this time is when White Widow wins. The main conflict at the end of the film is already resolved in the first act of the film. She was able to find people to fill the void that has been missing throughout her struggle. Through that connection that she began to build. Some battles in life aren't made to be fought alone. Sometimes a person needs others to be able to defeat a formidable foe, or the loneliness and emptiness that one may be holding deep inside. In my personal life, I've sort of found this the hard way. I've been able to learn that great people are created by great people, meaning that it's important to have good people around you because it will foster something that could be harder than diamond. Valentina, a politician who's under great scrutiny, needs to cover her tracks, and she decides to get rid of all the people she's called to do her dirty deeds. She then makes one of the worst decisions of the film and try to have all the mercenaries kill each other at once in this furnace room that's gonna start to activate once everyone's in it. In this move, Valentina shows her greed and desperation. Her dedication to maintain her status has consumed her, and with this single move, she creates the film's main antagonist while simultaneously creating the firepower for the protagonist to deal with this foe. This is where the Thunderbolts get created. These mercenaries are able to avoid killing each other. They're able to survive the trap that was placed for them. There was one individual who was an oddball out. This distinguished individual is known as Bob. What Bob is going to do is become a Superman in the future of this film, later in this film. And Valentina is going to use him to be able to take out New York City. I haven't seen any other MCU movies outside of, I think, Wakanda Forever after Endgame. And this is a film that I've sort of had knowledge about surface level in the characters, so I wanted to learn more a bit about each character. I know they've had some spin-offs, TV shows, sort of diving deeper into, U.S. agent, and I'm not sure, maybe Taskmaster or something, but I think Florence Plow does a really good job. I've seen her in Midsummer, and I think that was a really good film. And being able to see her in this standalone film, I think, is something that's sort of a refreshing MCU main movie sort of take in this universe. It's good to see that we have gotten probably the best female lead MCU film I think we've had to date. I think we've had the Marvels. Captain Marvel, I think she had a standalone one, if I'm not mistaken. And I think there was Black Widow. I think Black Widow was pretty solid. I think I like Black Widow. It's been a while since I watched it. But this might be the better one out of them. And kudos to her and this team for cooking up this gourmet dish for the audiences. I really like the fight scenes. The fight scenes were pretty good in this movie. I really like one of the scenes where the antagonist is able to sort of just overpower the team, and you can really see the struggle that is going on throughout the whole film of them dealing with such a guy to deal with. I feel like probably the weakest points to me in this film is sort of with sort of the manipulator of this film, Valentina. She's sort of behind all these scheming and conniving her way around these things. But overall, I think this is a good film, especially if you like Marvel movies and you've sort of been turned off. This is one I would probably recommend to anyone, honestly, who is into. Now, I'm even more interested on how they're able to follow up with this film with other installments in this line of movies, since they've had the names that they're calling themselves now. I really wonder how that's gonna happen and plan out in the next 3 years. Whenever we're gonna get Doomsday, I think we're gonna get Doomsday in 2027, but I don't know. I don't know if this is a movie that's gonna make me want to fall in love with the MCU movies. I think that was definitely a phase of movies that kind of came and sort of died in the way. But this movie is something that may be able to reignite that spark that so many people have had for this franchise for a while, with the first phase of them, growing this roster of characters, and now these new characters, and they're trying to remake that into for the future. I'm sort of excited to see what they do with Fantastic Four. I know this movie sort of has a, spoiler alert, Fantastic Four tie-in, but at the end. But we'll see. I'm definitely excited for the Fantastic film that's also going to come out, Fantastic Four film, and I will be checking that out because I've kind of started to like how kind of weird and dorky and kind of, I don't know, obscure the Fantastic Four as a team feels, and hopefully that will be a pretty good film as well.